All right, class. Hey, class, how you doing today? This is for course one, which is sixth grade. This is my second period. Also, I'm going over the study guide, which is 4A. This is going over for your test, which is on Wednesday, October 11th, and your test will be 4B. All right, so basically, if you guys have any questions or concerns, you're more than willing to comment at the bottom, and I will get back to them, answering your questions. So I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm gonna solve all the problems, 1 through 20, and here we go. Let's start with. There we go. Number one. It says, when the sum of 9 and 3 is divided by the difference of 9 and 3, what is the quotient? That is a lot of words in there. The first thing we need to do is understand what they're asking us. So, when the sum means addition. All right. So when the sum of 9 and 3, so let's just do that. 9 plus 3 equals 12, is divided by the difference of 9 and 3. Difference means subtraction. So the difference of 9 and 3 is 6. What is the quotient? Quotient is the answer we get from a division problem. All right, so it says when the sum of 9 and 3 is divided by the difference of 9 and 3, what is the quotient? So that is really asking us, you guys, 12 divided by 6 equals 2. Because this is the sum of 9 and 3, and is being divided by the difference of 9 and 3, which equals 2. All right. Problem number 2. Which digit is in the millions? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so here we go. Extra credit right here. If you guys can comment and write down this number, tell me what this number is in the comment section, and I'll give you guys some extra credit points. All right, so let's figure this out. Right here we have the ones, we have the tens, we have the hundreds. I'm just gonna put that for hundreds. All right, maybe if you guys want, I'll put the N instead of D. We have the hundreds. Now we got the thousands. We got the 10,000s. And then we have the 100,000s. After that comes the millions. All right. So it's asked us which digit is in the millions. It is 3. Question 3. Tom has read 96 pages of a 312-page book. How many pages does Tom need to read to finish the book? You guys, this is just a simple subtraction problem. All they want you to do is just subtract. We can do that. We know how to subtract. So I'm going to take 312. All right. You got to cancel. That's a 0. 12 minus 6 is 6. Need to borrow 2. 10 minus 9 is 1. Bring down my 2. He has 216 pages left. All right. Question 4. The morning temperature was at -5 degrees. All right. By noon, the temperature was at, so we started, and at noon, we was at 4 degrees. How many degrees has the temperature risen? All right, this is like the weather that I'm used to back at home, back in Indiana. We used to get like -10 type of weather. You guys are not used to that. You guys are used to this Florida weather. You're kind of spoiled. So the easiest way to do this is to do a number line. All right. So I'm just going to say 0. -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, let's change the colors. We started at -5, so I'm going to put a dot here, and I'm going to bring the line up, because that's where we started. And by noon, we got to 4. All right, so this is where we finish. So let's count how let's count how much the degrees has risen. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so the temperature has risen 9 degrees. All right, question 5. We're going through this pretty fast. Find each. Oh, okay. It says find each unknown for problems 5 and 6. Q minus 40 equals 25. All right, this is what I want you guys to do. Put a line through the equal sign. All right. So basically, we want our answer to say Q equals a number. In order to do that, we have to get rid of this 40, this -40. In order to get rid of this -40, we have to use the inverse operation. When we use the inverse operation, we need for this 40 to become a 0. But anything that we do to the left side, we must do to the right side. So I can take this. If I add 40 right here, -40 plus 40 is 0. It goes away. I'm going to bring down my Q. I'm going to bring over my equal sign. Now, I added 40 to the left side, so I must add 40 to the right side. 40 plus 25. 5 plus 0 is 5. 2 plus 4 is 6. Q equals 65. And then it says, check your work. All right, so let's go up here. I'll do it in a different color. Let's go orange. 65 minus 40. 5 minus 0 is 5. 6 minus 4 is 2. 25. 6. Says 3n equals 87. In order to understand this problem and understand what we're doing, we must know the relationship between n and 3. What is n and 3 doing? Yes, they are multiplying. N and 3, they're being multiplied by each other. Whenever you have a variable and a number next to each other, they are multiplying. All right. So in order to do that, we have to do the inverse operation. The inverse operation is division. So we need to divide. Divide by what? We want our answer to say n equals a number. In order for it to say n equals a number, we must divide by 3. Mr. Beavers, why are we dividing by 3? I'm so confused. All right, class. The reason why we're dividing by 3 is because if we take 3 divided by 3, we get 1. And we want n to be isolated by itself. So, once again, whatever I do to the left, I must do to the right. So 3 divided by 3 cancels out. So I'm just left with n. Bring down my equal sign. 87 divided by 3. How many times can 3 go into 8? It is 2, 6, 27, 9, 0. N equals 29. All right, question 7. 37,542. And it says round to the nearest thousandth. So our thousandths, this is the number we're looking at. So we're going to look at the 5. Now remember, 1 through 4 says stay the same. 5 through 9 says goes up. All right. So we look at the 5. The 5 tell us that we need to round this 7 up 1. Goes up. So the 3 stays the same. That 7 now becomes a 8. Everything behind it is zeros. Question 8. All right, question 8 says estimate. All right, you guys remember we went over estimating? When we're estimating, we're also doing a little bit of rounding. All right? So when we estimate, this problem, number 8 says estimate the product of 51 and 48. 51 and 48. All right, so 51 and 48. All right. So if we're going to estimate, let's estimate this. And in order for us to estimate it, let's round it first and then we can estimate. So when I look at this 51, underline the 1, I'm going to box this. Does this 1 tell me to take this 5 up to a 6 or keep it at a 5? 1 says keep it at a 5. So this is 50. And now let's look at this. Let's look at the 48. Underline it and box this. Does that 8 tell that 4 to go up or stay the same? The 8 tells the 4 to go up, so this becomes 50. All right, every time you round, the numbers behind it become a 0. Every time you round, the numbers behind it become a 0. So if we're going to estimate the product means times, multiplication. We can just multiply this. 50 times 50. We know 5 times 5 is 25. And how many zeros we have? 2. So our answer is about 2,500. Question 9. 123 over 3. Simplify. This is easy, you guys. This is just simple division. 123 divided by that. 3 goes into 12 4 times. 12, 0. Bring down the 3. 3 goes into 3 once. 3, 0. The answer is 41. All right, number 10. It says, what is the average of 3, 7, 9, 10, 10, and 9? All right. So when we take average, that's just like the mean. That means we have to add all of these numbers up, and then we're going to divide it by how many numbers we have. So let's add it up first, and then we'll do the second part. So 3 plus 7 equals 10, plus 9 equals 19, plus 10 equals 29, plus 10 equals 39. 39 plus 9 equals 48. So we added all the numbers up, 48. But wait, we are not done. How many numbers do we have? Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 6 numbers. So we need to take 48 divided by 6, which is 8. So the average is 8. 11. What number is halfway between 24 and 98? How do we figure this out? Mr. Beavers, this one is a little confusing. I don't understand this one. Actually, this one is actually really simple. You guys, in order to figure out what number is halfway, we need to first add these two numbers up. Once we add these two numbers up, we can divide it by 2, and when we divide it by 2, we get the halfway point. So let's take 98 plus 24. 8 plus 4 is 12. 2, carry the 1. 9 plus 2 is 11, plus 1 is 12. So 122, and now we got to divide that by 2. Goes into their 6. 1. The answer, 61. Number 12. It says, list the whole number factors of 18. Now, you guys, don't get this confused for prime factorization. We're listing the factors of 18. So what two numbers, when we multiply them, give us 18? So we have 1 times 18. We have 2 times 9. And what else? We have 3 times 6. So our answers is 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. All right. All right, we're on question 13. It says the post office sold 39-cent commemorative stamps and sheets of 25 stamps. What is the price of the sheet of stamps? All right, so really they're just asking us how much. How much does these stamps cost? Really, that's it. So we know that they cost 39 cents and we have 25 sheets. So we just got to do the math. 9 times 5 is 45. Carry the 4. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 4 is 19. 0. 2 times 9 is 18. Actually, hold on. It's 18. Carry the 1. 2 times 3 is 6. Plus 1 is 7. All right, let's add this up. 5 plus 0 is 5. 9 plus 8 is 17. Carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8. Plus 1 is 9. Now, 975, that doesn't make sense. How many decimal places do I have here? 1, 2. So I must go 2 decimal places. 1, 2. So I have 975. $9.75. All right. Question 14. GCF, greatest common factor. What is the greatest common factor for 18 and 24? Well, we just did 18. So let's list those again. It was 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 18. Let's list 24s. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 12, 24. What is the greatest common factor? All right, so what is the highest number of the two? That's how I like to think of it. You know, just a nice, easy way to remember. We have least common multiple and greatest common factor. It is 6. 15, we're going to look at the chart, so I'm not going to really do it. It says, on which day did Jenna earn the highest score? So when you look at the chart for 15, if you look all the way up at the top, you see that Friday is the highest. And that's just the answer. Friday. 16. How many answers did she have correct on Monday? So let's look at the chart. The chart is counting by twos. It goes 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. All right. We can't see the middle number, but we can assume that that number is the odd number. So 2, 3 is missing. Then we see 4. 5 is missing, but then we see 6. And if you look at Monday, it's at the 5. 5 answers. All right, you guys need to label. If you do not label, it's going to be minus a half a point. All right, let's go to 17. It says, what number is half of $3.50? When we see this word of, it's multiplication. Of means multiplication. All right, you guys. What is 5? What is 1/2 in a decimal? 1/2 in a decimal is 0.5, correct? So I can say 0.5. 5 times 0 is 0. 5 times 5 is 25. Write the 5 there, carry the 2. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 2 is 17. All right, let me count my decimals. I have 1, 2, 2 there. I have 1 there. So decimal needs to go 2 plus 1, which is 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so my answer is $1.75. All right, number 18. What is the perimeter of this rectangle? We see 18 milliliters and we see 12 milliliters. When we do perimeter, we're just adding up all the outside, right? So I can say 18 times 2. And I can say 12 times 2. Well, we know 12 times 2 is 24. But just in case if we don't know what 8 times 2 is. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry, class. Just in case if we don't know. Oh, let me go back up. There we go. Sorry. 8 times 2 is 16. Carry the 1. 2 times 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. So I got to take 36 plus 24. 6 plus 4 is 10. Carry the 1 is 70. 70 milliliters. We must label. All right. 19. I remember I told you guys that sequence is the one thing that I am horrible at in math. I love math, but my brain just can't seem to get them fast. So this one, luckily, it's an easy one, and we can see that from each number we're adding what? If we go from 15 to 30, that is a plus 15. We go from 30 to 45, that is another plus 15. 45 to 60, that is a plus 15. So for the missing one, let's just say plus 15, which is 75. All right, finally, the last question. It says, how long... Sorry, I don't know if I can do this one. This is actually really hard. 1 inch. You know what? We're just going to have to look at it because that's going to be really hard. So for this one, at the top, if you see the line that's on top of the ruler, we want to see where it stops. So when we're looking at the ruler, we automatically know that it goes past 2 inches. But we need to figure out how much should it go past. So in order for us to do that, we have to count those little lines, right? So let's count those little lines. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it goes 2 and 8, and then that's where it stops. But we need to figure out the fraction. So we have to figure out how many lines is in between. Let's say how many small lines is in between 1 and 2. So let's count together. Start at the 1, but we don't count the 1. Count the next one. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 when we get to the 2. So we know that our line stopped at 2, 8, 16ths, which is also the same as saying 2 1/2 inches. All right, class, that's it. That's the study guide. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment at the bottom. Thank you. I'll see you guys in class.